Buenos dias and welcome back to the channel. Hey guys, how you doing? This is Travis. I want to welcome you back, and today we're going to do something totally different from what you usually see on this channel. I'm going to teach you how to do a little bit of cooking today. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to make a cheese quesadilla. Very simple to make. All the ingredients that you see here in front of you, we'll talk about them here for a second. You can buy these at your local Walmart and get them. This quesadilla is going to be called the NeverenuffJimenez quesadilla, as I was taught this recipe by my buddy Matt over at the Neverenuffammo channel, as well as our buddy Adam Jimenez, who is a regular panelist on Matt's vlogs and podcasts and so on. And those guys both taught me how to make it. So let's talk about the ingredients that you need to make an actual cheese quesadilla. Very simple to do. Ingredients, okay, here we go. Alright, so there's only, three main things you need to pick up if you want to make your cheese quesadillas. The first one's going to be a good flour tortilla. Now, if you have any kind of a gluten allergy, you might want to try the wraps or tortillas that you've been using and see how they work for this recipe. There's so many different types, I really can't tell you what to go with, but a good flour tortilla is hard to beat. I do like the burrito size, because when we fold these in half, it's going to make a nice size quesadilla that's going to do the job to fill you up. Mission brand is pretty good, but you can go with pretty much any brand that you enjoy eating. Again, flour tortillas, burrito size. As for cheese, I just got some Kraft Mexican style 4 cheese. You can do a Colby Jack if you want to. I don't recommend just 100% cheddar. I just don't find cheddar melts very well. And this has got some good cheeses that are more designed to melt well. So for like nachos and quesadillas and stuff like that. So Mexican style 4 cheese blend, you really can't go wrong with that. Anyway, while you guys are watching this, if you want to chime in with any kind of special ingredients that you like to use for the quesadillas, make sure you put that down below, okay? As for, you need some sort of an oil to cook this stuff in. Old school butter, regular butter, salted, you really can't go wrong. We'll use approximately 1 tablespoon in the frying pan, maybe half a tablespoon, and then also about a half a tablespoon to 1 tablespoon to cover up the tortilla for the other side that's going to get cooked. So again, get yourself some salted butter. You can make it with margarine. I've not tried it with anything else other than margarine and butter. Margarine will do the job, but I find that the butter has a much better flavor to it. It also helps it crisp up a little bit better too, just kind of my experience. At this point, once we get it assembled, you can put some shredded chicken in there if you want to, or some jalapenos. I'm just going to go with a low spice hot sauce, some Cholula hot sauce. It's probably a 3 on a scale of 1 to 10. You can use Tapatio or Valentina, pretty much whatever you enjoy. Heck, you can just put some old school, paste picante salsa in there if you want to, and that'll do the job for you too. But you want to put something in there to give a little bit of kick. If you're the kind of person that can't handle heat, you can always leave that out too. So let's talk about exactly what we're going to need for kitchen utensils, pots and pans to make up this quesadilla. Okay, so tools of the trade if you want to cook this quesadilla. It's real simple. I'm just going to use a non-stick frying pan. This is probably a 10 to 12 inch skillet pan. If you've got cast iron or if you've got stainless steel, I really don't know what to tell you because this is all I ever cook mine in. But again, you might want to try those pans and see what works best for you. And this is not the most traditional way to do it, but it will get the job done. I'm just going to use a spatula to flip it over. You can use your fingers if you want to pick it up and flip it. It is going to be kind of hot, but you want to be kind of careful when you do that. And then I also like to have a fork handy because we'll be popping some of the steam bubbles that'll be popping up in the tortilla. If you don't catch those, you can get some hot spots on the tortilla that cook unevenly compared to the rest of the tortilla. So you want to be careful when you use this because you don't want to scratch that pan. These metal utensils can ruin the surfaces on most of your non-stick frying pans and pots and all that fun stuff. So good to have a fork handy, and I think we'll go ahead and get started. It's real simple. Okay, so the first thing that I like to do is just go ahead and put the range top on a medium-high setting. Anywhere between probably 6 or 7 would work for you. If you have a, maybe a gas range or a really hot range, you're probably gonna have to use a little bit lower temperature. So shoot for medium-high and you should be all set. Okay, and so while we're waiting for our pan to heat up, why don't we go ahead and take about a tablespoon of butter, and what you want to do is just go ahead and just spread that real thin coat on your tortilla. If you need to soften up that butter a little bit, you can do that too. Now, when we actually put this in the pan, we're not going to put this side down because we're about to melt some butter in the pan. The pan's warming up right now. So once you have a nice thin coat of butter all across that tortilla, let's go and move over to the frying pan. Okay, now the next thing you want to do is go ahead and put the butter in the frying pan. I can feel the heat coming off the pan, so it should be fairly warm. There you go, it's always a good sign. You want to go ahead and move this around a little bit. You want to get a nice even coating of melted butter on the bottom of the pan. You may have to put it back on the heat periodically to keep it going. When that butter starts to just brown up a little bit, not burn, but start to become just a slight golden brown, slight tan color, we will be ready to go ahead and add our tortilla. Okay, once it starts to sizzle again, we'll go ahead and throw the tortilla in. So go ahead and take your tortilla, unbuttered side down, buttered side up, and set it in the pan. Now at this point you're going to want to watch for some of those steam bubbles that'll start forming in the tortilla. What it is the moisture is trying to escape from the bread essentially, but it's trapped by another layer of bread. And so have your fork on standby because you want to pop those little steam bubbles. And if you do so, that'll help ensure a nice even cooking all the way around. Now I'm starting to get some little air bubbles down here in the bottom, so we're just going to kind of poke them as they pop up. I like to just kind of check it periodically, just kind of pull up on it, look. There we go. There we go. That's pretty good. Okay, we're going to go ahead and flip it over. I just use my fingers. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat down just a little tiny bit. There we go. Get rid of that steam bubble going on there. Okay, now at this point, go ahead and add your cheese. Won't take long for this to melt. Now you could also add, say, some shredded chicken if you want to. You could add some vegetables. You could add a little bit of beans and rice if you want. Just go ahead and spread it all the way around. And it's not going to take long for this side to cook here. Go ahead and just check it periodically. Yep. That's pretty much what we're looking for. So just go ahead and fold it in half and move it over. Really hard to do without using your fingers, but if you practice this a couple times, you'll get better at it. Now, the key to this part is to make sure that you're flipping this about every 10 to 15 seconds or so it doesn't get too done on one side. You can go ahead and use your spatula if you want to. That's pretty much what you're shooting for. Kind of press down on it so it gets a nice seal to it. There we go. Starting to get crispy. Nice thing about the butter is it doesn't leave it like heavily oiled and soggy. And again, you can get this to whatever level of doneness that you're most comfortable with. And really at that point you can take it off at any point you want to. The hot sauce, you can add it before you fold it if you want to, or you can add it afterwards. You can open it up and add it after you've cooked it. Pretty much whatever works best for you. Okay, we're going to let this go one more time and then we'll go ahead and take it out of the pan and we should be all set. That will be your Neverenuffammo quesadilla. Okay, you know if you cooked it right because the cheese should be nice and melted inside too. Okay, we'll go and check that, make sure that it's done enough. If we have some melted cheese in here, we have a successful quesadilla. There you go. Yeah, it's perfect right there. Let's get that up in the camera for you there. Now again, you can cut this if you want to. You get more of a dramatic effect if you just go ahead and tear it. Obviously you need to take a bite of it. It's so good. There we go. Very, very tasty. You know, you could adapt these for breakfast if you want to. You can put some scrambled eggs in there if you want to, or a little bit of bacon. It's pretty much whatever's going to work best for you. So, okay guys, so that's it. That's all it takes to make a cheese quesadilla. It's very simple. I went ahead and wrote down the nutritional information for you real quick if you're interested. There are some, lower fat, lower calorie options out there that you could go with. You could go with maybe like a reduced fat tortilla, or you could go with a lighter cheese if you want to. 410 calories is what we're having here, 24 grams of fat, 12 grams of saturated fat, and 11 grams of protein. So anyway guys, that's it. Thanks for joining us. So my thanks go out to Adam Jimenez and also Matt over at the Neverenuffammo channel. Guys, if you like what you see, please like or subscribe, and you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, gunchannels.com, Gunstreamer, UGEtube. I think that's pretty much about it. So a lot more content coming your way. Hopefully have a few more range trips coming up in the near future. But guys, in the meantime, I want you to have fun. I want you to be safe. I want you to eat good. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.